Have you ever wondered how Japan, an isolated island nation, developed its distinct and mesmerizing culture? Nestled in the Pacific Ocean, Japan is a land apart, separated from the mainland by miles of sea. Its isolation, a canvas for a unique culture untouched and unaltered by the outside world. A culture that bloomed in solitude, weaving a rich tapestry of traditions, arts, and values. To understand this, we must journey back to Japan's ancient past. Our journey begins in the Jomon period, dating back to 14,000 BC. This era was marked by a hunter-gatherer lifestyle, with the inhabitants creating some of the world's earliest known pottery, adorned with intricate cord markings, hence the name Jomon, meaning cord-marked in Japanese. Fast forward a few millennia, we arrive at the Yayoi period, around the 3rd century BC. This era was a significant turning point as it saw the introduction of wet rice cultivation from the Asian mainland. This new agricultural practice allowed for more stable food production, leading to a shift from a nomadic lifestyle to a more settled, sedentary culture. Communities began to develop around these agricultural centers, forming the basis for the first organized societies in the region. Trade and craft works flourished, and with it, a complex social hierarchy began to emerge. The Yayoi period set the stage for the birth of Japan's first state. As we move into the Kofun and Asuka periods, we witness the birth of a unified Japan. The Kofun period, named after the large tomb mounds that mark the era, saw the emergence of a strong central authority. The power of the Yamato court grew, giving birth to a state. But this wasn't just a time of political transformation, it was also a period of significant cultural evolution. Enter the Asuka period, a time of great enlightenment. It was during this era that Buddhism was introduced to Japan, bringing with it new philosophies, art, and architecture. Concurrently, the Chinese writing system was adopted, forever changing the way the Japanese communicated and recorded their history. This was not a one-way street, though. Japan's unique culture influenced Buddhism and the writing system, shaping them to fit its own needs and style. This was a time of great cultural exchange, shaping Japan's identity forever. Next, we step into the age of the samurai, a period that spanned over 1,000 years. This epic of Japanese history saw the rise of the samurai class, warriors who would come to shape the culture, politics, and society of Japan for centuries. These were not just fighters, they were scholars, poets, and philosophers embodying the spirit of Bunbu Ryodo, the way of the pen and the sword. The samurai were bound by the code of Bushido, a strict moral and ethical code that emphasized loyalty, honor, and personal integrity. They were the ruling class, the defenders of the realm, and the embodiment of Japanese culture. At the heart of the samurai's philosophical outlook was Zen Buddhism. This form of Buddhism, with its emphasis on meditation and mindfulness, resonated deeply with the samurai. Zen Buddhism's teachings on the transience of life, the acceptance of death, and the pursuit of a clear, focused mind influenced the samurai's approach to warfare, governance, and daily life. It was a philosophy that intertwined with the samurai's way of life, shaping their art, literature, and martial practices. As we move further into this era, we reach the Edo period, a time of peace, stability, and isolation. The shogunate, the military government led by the shogun, enforced a strict policy of isolation, known as sakoku. Japan closed its doors to the outside world, limiting foreign influence and focusing on internal development. This period saw the flourishing of Japanese arts, culture, and education, but it also marked a time of stagnation, with the samurai's role shifting from warriors to bureaucrats. The samurai's influence during this era was profound, shaping Japan's identity and leaving a lasting imprint on its culture, values, and societal structures. From their martial prowess to their philosophical outlook, the samurai were more than just warriors, they were the embodiment of an era, the guardians of a unique way of life. The samurai era left an indelible mark on Japan, but change was on the horizon. The Meiji Restoration in 1868 ushered in a new era of modernization and westernization. A time of transformation began, where the feudal society was swiftly replaced with a centralized government. Japan, the land of the rising sun, rose rapidly to the global stage. The government played a vital role in this revolution, actively promoting Western technology and ideas. Railways were constructed, telegraph lines were laid, and factories were built. The nation was rapidly industrialized, and within a few decades it had transformed from a feudal society to a modern industrial state. But the winds of change brought with them the gusts of conflict. The first half of the 20th century saw Japan embroiled in two world wars. Its role in World War II was particularly controversial, marked by military aggression and expansionism. The war ended in devastating fashion, with the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yet like the mythical phoenix, Japan rose from the ashes. The post-war years were a time of remarkable recovery and growth. The country embraced democracy, rebuilding its economy with a focus on technology and manufacturing. The Japanese miracle, as it came to be known, saw Japan become the world's second-largest economy by the 1980s. Today, Japan is a blend of the old and the new. Its bustling cities, with their skyscrapers and neon lights, exist in harmony with ancient temples and serene gardens. It is a nation that has managed to preserve its rich cultural heritage while embracing modernity. Japan's technological prowess is well known. From robotics to electronics, it continues to be a global leader in innovation. Its influence can be felt in every corner of the world, through its cuisine, pop culture, and technology. From a recluse nation to a global powerhouse, Japan's journey is a testament to its resilience and adaptability. Its story is one of transformation, a tale of a country that has navigated the winds of change to find its place in the modern world. So, what have we learned about Japan's rich history and culture? From the early settlements of the Jomon and Yayoi periods, through the establishment of statehood in the Kofun and Asuka eras, to the influential age of the samurai, and finally into the bustling modern era, Japan's tale is intricately woven with threads of resilience, adaptation, and a deeply ingrained respect for tradition. Each period, a unique chapter, contributes to the fascinating story that is Japan. Japan's journey is a tale of resilience, adaptation, and a deeply ingrained respect for tradition, making it a truly unique nation.